Hey guys, I'm out here at the custom home in Salado, Texas. We just finished everything, so I'm gonna show you what I typically look for on a final walkthrough as the builder, inside and outside, just the details I check to make sure everything's ready to go for the client. So here on the outside, I'm just checking to make sure all the paint looks clean. We've pressure washed the outside, pressure washed all the siding. There's no dust or anything or any like grime or paint left over on the bricks. Then I'm checking for the gutters, just making sure they look, all straight. There's no dents or dings in them. I'm checking all the windows, make sure they have all the screens on them, and just make sure everything looks clean overall. Okay. So here we have our condensing unit, one of two of our HVACs. We have our sprinkler system here. They just finished that up yesterday, and we have sod going in tomorrow. Here on the back side of the house, we have a lot going on. I'm just making sure all of our lintels are painted and everything that looks clean and pretty much finished up. Okay. In here on our soffit, we have some soffit outlets for Christmas lights. I'm making sure that the covers are all on those. Got our Ring cameras, making sure that there's silicone around for a water and air barrier. Over here, I can see that our septic is up and running, and I can hear our condensing unit running, so that's good to go. This is our second of 2 units. We have a clean out here, so I'm making sure it has a cap on it. All the clean outs need to have a cap. Over here, we got our panels. I'm just checking, making sure nothing's disconnected. Everything looks good. All right. And then just generally making sure it's clean. There's actually still some trash out here, but we're gonna be removing all that before we install the sod tomorrow. So on the inside, generally, I'm just looking at all the walls to make sure the drywall and the paint looks good. There's usually a lot of touch-ups for the walls, which we've already gone through and patched everything, so just checking all those. Making sure all my cedar's been stained, everything's generally clean. I'm making sure that all of our appliances are working, that they're all turned on. All my water works, making sure my vent fan's on, and all the appliances are functional. I'm also looking at the cabinets. Cabinets are pretty delicate, so just making sure there's no chips or anything in them. They usually require a touch-up or two. Okay. So in all my bedrooms, I'm just checking to make sure that the lights work, the fans work, and just in general, all the trim, walls look good, all my air grills are installed. For my bathrooms, checking all my faucets, make sure the water's turned on, as well as in my showers. And then of course in the bathrooms, I'm checking all my tile work to make sure that there's no grout missing and everything, all my corners are caulked. If you don't silicone the corners, they'll typically crack within a couple weeks to a couple months. And I know my niche light's working. I'm gonna check to make sure the toilet's flush and that my exhaust fans work. And for the closets, making sure all my rods are stained, that these have screws in them so they're not gonna fall off. And just kind of a general sweep of everything. Here I'm in the other side of the house. Just all these doors need to have a door stop so you're not gonna bust any walls up with your doorknobs. And then over here to the bathroom, obviously checking all my hardware. Our towel racks are up, our toilet paper holders are up, our cabinet pulls are installed. I just like to check the blinds to make sure they're installed properly and they're not too wide for the actual opening, because sometimes if you don't cut them right or don't order them right, they'll kind of sit outside the window and it looks kind of bad. So this step is just walking around the entire house, checking every nook and cranny for anything that could possibly be wrong, whether that be a light not working, a fan not working, your disposal isn't working, or even if like a cover plate's missing an outlet, anything at all that's out of place or doesn't look right. Of course, the big one's touch-ups, but you just want to make sure that everything is pretty much perfect before the client walks through the house for the first time.